Hi people, Moreno Raven back here again. In this video, as the header suggests, I'm going to discuss the difference between Magick, M-A-G-I-C, and Magick, M-A-G-I-C-K. So Magick without a C, Magick without a K at the end of the word or phrase itself, and Magick with one. It comes down, or it boils down to the same thing along the lines of asking what the difference is between a stage performer, a stage magician, or a stage illusionist, as well as an occultist like myself. And there's not a lot to say regarding this subject, but in case there was someone out there that's still wondering what the difference is, then yes, I'm here to explain that. A magician without a K in his or her title is a stage performer, an illusionist. It's someone that makes use of tricks and gimmicks in order to misdirect or distract the public for the purposes of entertainment. For example, the only example that comes to mind is the illusionist David Copperfield. Okay, he is arguably, I think, the best or most successful illusionist, stage illusionist or magician ever. Perhaps, you name it, or at the very least within modern times or within the past century or so. Point is that an illusionist or a magician, a stage magician, is someone that simply performs tricks for the public. And a trick that there is some normal or mundane, so non-spiritual or non-ethereal, there is some catch or trick to it. There's a way in which this person does what he or she does. For example, moving so fast that whomever is watching is unable to see it. Let's just say you can compare it to a pickpocket, although without the negative connotation attached to it, of course. Pickpockets are primarily people that steal money out of other people by sticking their hands in their pockets and other belongings, for example, purses, briefcases, and whatnot, in such a quick and efficient manner. More often than not by distracting the person, for example, by using a decoy. Someone else bumps into the person, oh I'm sorry, and the person is distracted, and while that person looks away, the pickpocket simply sticks his hand really quick and does so in such a slight and smooth and efficient manner that the person has no idea that the person was pocketed or pickpocketed. But of course without the negative stigma to it, okay, because what I just mentioned, pickpocketing obviously is a crime. But a stage magician, a stage illusionist is, think of the stereotypical person that pulls a rabbit out of a hat. The person doesn't literally manifest a rabbit in a hat. Okay, there is some trick to it. There is a normal, mundane way in which the person does what he or she does. That's why more often than not, when they do this on a large scale, as in they perform for an audience, 100 people and up, even if it's only a couple of people, they dress it up. It's similar to it is entertainment. Okay, it's similar to actors, or it's similar to a Broadway play. It's all done in the name of entertainment, just to amuse people, and it is a skill and talent itself. Of course, I'm not belittling or berating stage magicians or illusionists in any way, shape, or form. I just want to draw a clear and as clear line as possible between the two in terms of differences. So yeah, when a stage magician or an illusionist, that's why the name itself speaks for itself, illusionist, the person creates an illusion, but something that's not real. It's simply done for the purposes of entertainment, the same way that an actor portrays a fictional character. That's why illusionists, they use a lot of stuff. They make use of assistants that more often than not are physically attractive or appealing. Think of a male illusionist that uses an attractive assistant as an attractive woman as an assistant, I mean, and they use costumes, they use everything. They dress up the entire performance is dressed up, because that's just what it is. It's a performance. It's scripted in the sense that, hey, I'm gonna do this, this is supposed to happen, and so on and so forth. Another simple example that I can give, and after that I'm not giving anymore because there's no need to do so, is, for example, majority of people are familiar with when an illusionist saws his assistant in half, allegedly saws her in half. Obviously that's not the case. The way, as I recall it, that the trick is done is that the two boxes are long enough to the point where the assistant of that illusionist that performs the trick, his or her body, the body of the assistant, fits in only one box. It's large. The box is large enough for the entire assistant's body to fit into it. And at the outer end, so the second box, where allegedly if he saws her through half, assuming that it's a female assistant, when he saws her through half, her legs are on the other side. It's either a prop leg, it's not a real leg in any case, it's only made to look real. It's, for example, from a mannequin, or it's some kind of artificial intelligence or prosthetics to make it look as real as possible, to the point where you can barely see the difference. In the extremest of examples, they even create something that looks so close to the real thing to the point where even blood splatters and all of that stuff. But usually they don't do so. Like I said, it's just for the sake of entertainment. That's what a stage magician is. So that's an example of that's an example of the secret behind the trick, the quote unquote secret behind the trick, as in how is it done. For the rest, other acts that they perform, again, see, the very word itself states act. The act itself is simply the name itself speaks for itself. Okay, act, A-C-T. It's an act. Other acts that you might have heard of are making an elephant allegedly disappear. You name it. It just goes on and so forth. So on and so forth. If there was an actual tangible elephant that the thingy was capable of making disappear, so if the stage illusionist could actually make the elephant disappear, then there would be no need for any dress up. If he legitimately had supernatural powers to the point where he could make a creature disappear just like that, boom. But no, that's why everything is dressed up. That's why there is a curtain placed in front of the object that is going to allegedly disappear. It just goes on and so forth. It's all an illusion. It's nothing more than an act used through which several techniques are utilized and or used, such as misdirection, distracting the public. Similar to the pickpocket example I gave. The public is distracted by something else, and while the public is distracted, the stage magician does his trick that makes the entire performance work, that makes the entire act work. So yeah, that's the difference. Point is that a stage magician or illusionist, what he does is entertainment. It's an act for the purposes of entertainment and entertainment alone. In general, at the very least in general, but 99 out of 100 times, a stage illusionist does not, what he does has no relation and or correlation or anything to do with spirituality whatsoever. So what he does has nothing to do with spirituality, period. Nothing, nada, zip. So that's it. Now on to an occultist. I'm an occultist. The difference is clear, as in, I'm a real magician with the K at the end. Again, I'm not berating stage illusionists, but that's why I use the phrase real, because what he does is an illusion. What I do isn't an illusion. I'm an occultist. I'm a real magician. I'm a magician, an actual magician, in the sense that I engage with supernatural forces and or energies of a spiritual nature more often than not, 99 out of 100 times as well. And I simply utilize these energies and or entities and or undergo agreements with them and form bonds with them and simply work with them, simply put, in order to obtain a certain goal or towards a certain objective and or end. That's it, plain and simple. So bluntly put, I'm a magician in the sense that I work with spirits and or spiritual energies in order to accomplish goals either for myself or for others. So third parties. That's it. What I do has spirituality written all over it. Nothing about what I do is mundane whatsoever. What I do is ridiculously hard to do, to say the least. Again, not berating illusionists, but compared to an illusionist, what I do is ridiculously hard, to say the least, to the point where it's a rarity, statistically speaking. I think less than 0.1% of the population can actually get to such an attainable level. It just goes on and so forth. Again, I'm not being arrogant here, but I don't care. Even if someone thinks I'm arrogant, don't care, not even a little bit. So yeah, that's it. Plain and simple, the difference, okay? That's why I'm an occultist. I engage in the occult. The occult has to do with all things of a spiritual nature that are obscured and or hidden from plain view or plain sight. So it's something that is only for selective individuals. It's definitely not something that is visible to the average person because it's not tangible, and yet it produces everything that you can construe as tangible, everything that you can see. Okay, everything of a material nature has sprouted forth and or comes directly or indirectly from the immaterial. That's it. That's the difference. Okay, I'm a magician. I'm an occultist. That's the difference between me and a stage performer, an illusionist. An illusionist is, again, simply someone that performs tricks for the purposes of entertainment in general by using several techniques. But what this illusionist does is just that it's an illusion. There is a trick to everything that he does. There is a trick to all of his acts / illusions. So that's it. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.